gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Much for joining us. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. Tonight, Atlanta police are investigating after a mother was killed this week near Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. Now, this is the victim. She's Courtney Reese. Tonight, her family is devastated, and as her family is already dealing with another loss. Her sister, also a victim of gun violence just months ago. 11 Alive.
Woo! 2 black women shot and killed in the city of Atlanta within a couple months that just so happen to be related. These ninjas are crashing the hell out. They really are. It's a bad look. It's sad to watch on an everyday basis. It's, despicable that we have to talk about this day after day. But lo and behold, we're here again, and this must be highlighted. A lot of sisters are opting to date Thug Max Alpha Simps. They're ending up getting the Thug Max Alpha Simp result, and unfortunately that means an untimely death.
Erica Murphy live from the neighborhood on the city's southeast side where this happened.
And Erica, we're hearing this story. It is absolutely devastating. What are you learning about it?
It is very devastating for everyone who lives over here. You can't see it, but we are standing in front of a barbershop, the Cleveland Avenue barbershop, and the barbers there tell me that this young mom used to bring at least one of her children here to get his hair cut. Now, on Tuesday night, the family of this 32-year-old mother of 4 was forever changed. On Springside Drive, a hooded man gunned down this woman just a quarter of a mile from here.
Recently, it's been so much violence against women. It's like they're just being unprotected.
Atlanta police responded to Springside Drive on Tuesday night just before 9 to find Reese suffering from gunshot wounds. A ring cam video is now making its way through social media, appearing to show the moment her life was taken. Violence interrupter Dr. Travis Barber says the area where she was killed is no stranger to him.
I know everything about Cleveland, and I lost a cousin over there as well. As well as some friends.
Hearing about Reese's slaying is concerning to Barber.
It's no control over the gun laws. There's no control over the mental health patients. It's everybody's just going around like we're in the Wild Wild West.
Fellow community member Paulette Smith lost her son to gun violence and knows firsthand what this family must be going through.
There's a family that's here that's ripped apart. Kids don't have a mom. So we, as the community, Mothers Against Gang Violence, we are here to wrap around their family.
So you see the program Mothers Against Gang Violence, and unfortunately, this is a group that is growing constantly because the black community has not done well in addressing the violence going on in the black community. And although you have these small programs and stuff that are, obviously growing, they just don't have enough power. They don't have enough means. They don't have enough finances, and they don't have enough social pull to rein in the domestic terrorists of the black community.
Now, we did reach out to APD to find out if there are any updates on this case. We have not heard anything from them yet. But what we do know is that the family of this young mother has set up a GoFundMe to raise money for her burial costs. We do have a link to that fundraiser on our website. That's 11alive.com. Reporting from Atlanta, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
All right, Erica, thank you.
Developing tonight, trying to hold on to the happy moments while working through their grief after a mother of 4 was shot and killed on Tuesday night.
Now the community is rallying around the family of 32-year-old Courtney Reese. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido joining us live tonight from Atlanta Police Headquarters. And Angelina, you spoke with many of those who knew and loved Courtney.
And this is the very first time that we are hearing from them. Her younger sister tells me that she was vibrant and she always kept a smile on her face. Courtney shot and killed in Atlanta just months after one of her sisters was shot and killed in DeKalb tonight. This family tells me neither one of them deserved to die this way.
She was a vibe, the life of the party.
Her infectious smile is keeping her grieving family's spirit high.
She was everybody's hype man. She was everybody's cook.
Courtney Reese remembered tonight with purple balloons, music, and love.
It's a party. It's a celebration like she would have had any other day.
Lena is Courtney's older sister.
She didn't deserve this. Her kids will miss her, her sisters, her brother, her dad, her mom.
The 32-year-old shot 10 times at this home along Springside Drive, south of Cleveland Avenue, Tuesday night. Flowers are now in the place she took her last breath. In a video too graphic to play, Courtney pleads with someone before shots are fired. That person ran away. No arrests have been made.
Her life was cut short, but the children still are here. They still got to be provided for.
Courtney leaves behind 3 girls, just 13, 9, and 6 years old, and an 11-year-old son.
She was a great mother, and we want them to have everything that we knew that she was going to do for them.
Their life is her legacy.
Courtney was joy. She was love. She was a protector. She was, a provider.
Now, Atlanta police still investigating this case. They really want anybody from the community that has valuable information, saw or heard anything, to submit tips to them. Meanwhile, this family is working to provide for Courtney's kids. They're also trying to plan her funeral. We have a link to how you can help them in this story on our website. We're live tonight in Atlanta. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Afternoon and welcome to 11 Alive News at 4. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Faith Jesse. Thanks so much for being here with us. Atlanta police are investigating after a mom was killed this week near Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. The family of Courtney Reese devastated after her sister was also a victim of gun violence just months ago. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy has our top story today. She's joining us live from the neighborhood on the city's southeast side. Just to emphasize that devastation, Erica, this has got to be such a hard story for that area. What are you hearing from people over there?
Definitely devastating for the people who live in this area. Courtney was just 32 years old and she was caring for 4 young children when her life was cut short on Tuesday, just here off of Cleveland Avenue and Springside Drive. Police say they were called out to the 39 Springside Drive Southeast just before 9 o'clock. They found Reese suffering from several gunshot wounds, and she succumbed to those injuries. Police say that there is now a short ring cam video that is showing the exact moment that her life was taken. We can't show you that video because it is simply just too graphic.
Wow, and yeah, this video has been circulating online. I won't show the video either, but you can easily find it. The man crashed out. He literally went up to her and shot her dead like a dog, single mother of 4. And unfortunately, this situation is far too common in the community, and this is something that I've been fighting against personally. Yet, it just seems like people in the community are not engaged, not moved by stories like this, maybe on an individual level as far as family goes, but as a whole group, we're not taking group accountability. We're not using group acknowledgement to solve the issue. So unfortunately, we're going to continue to see these same issues. And, I hate to say it, but a lot of times black women, especially single mothers, they get risky in the dating market, and they do end up going after the thug, max, alpha, sim archetype. So this is what I believe led to her demise, and it's a horrible thing.
But it does show a man shooting her multiple times after Reese appears to plead with him. We spoke with a group here in the Cleveland Avenue neighborhood who works with families affected by violence. They think that they are seeing an increase in violence against women in this area.
Recently, it's been so much violence against women, and it's like they're just being unprotected. It's a family.
Now, in the defense of, I guess, men, I don't know, but yes, there is an uptick in violence against women, but there's been a steady increase in overwhelmingly violence against men. But now that women are involved, I think the women are starting to speak up more. But when black men were dying in the streets, I will say, we didn't have much fuss coming out. So it appears that more women are being targeted, and that's, I don't want to say it's helping bring awareness, but it's definitely waking a lot of women, specifically black women, up and saying, hey, we're not being protected. And we have this saying of black women are the least protected. But the reality is, in many cases, they need protection from the thug max alpha sim archetype of the black man.
Family that's here, that's ripped apart. Kids don't have a mom. So we, as the community, Mothers Against Gang Violence, we are here to wrap around their family. Because when that happens to you, I know personally, because it happened to me, you need support for everything.
Now, we have reached out to APD several times for an update in this case. We have not heard back from them yet, but we do want to say that the family of Miss Reese has created a GoFundMe to help raise money for her burial costs. We do have a link to that fundraiser on our website. That's 11alive.com. Reporting from Atlanta, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
And our thoughts are certainly with her family tonight. Erica, thank you so much for bringing us that.
Part of a task force sent to serve an arrest warrant to a murder suspect at a home in Stockbridge.
Now, Fox 5's Christopher King is live at the scene tonight. Christopher?
Russ, Courtney, officers tracked a murder suspect to a home down this street. They were trying to serve an arrest warrant. Instead, police say the suspect opened fire, wounding that Atlanta police officer. Sky Fox overhead as investigators fan out in the aftermath of a standoff turned deadly.
It's scary.
Atlanta police say U.S. Marshals around 1 Tuesday afternoon led a task force to a home on Linden Lane in Stockbridge. They were trying to serve an arrest warrant to Derrick Rankins. He was accused of murdering Courtney Reese 1 week ago, August 20th in Atlanta.
At that location, Mr. Rankins opened fire on members of the fugitive task force.
An Atlanta police officer was part of that task force.
A member of this department, an 18-year veteran assigned to our fugitive unit, was injured. And thankfully, those injuries are not life-threatening.
The officer was aired.
So, I will say this ninja did crash out. He did crash out when the police came. He kept that same energy, which is something that obviously we don't condone, but it is something that we have pondered upon, right? We're saying, oh, well, you have all this smoke for black people, but then when the police come around your behind up, you go in peacefully. Not saying that I advocate for black men to crash out. I think that justice should be served, and I think they should, do their punishment. But it kind of gives you an outlook on where we are as a community, the suicidal tendencies or the self-deleting tendencies that we continue to see, and it's not helping with the violent crime in the black community.
The suspect who we were seeking to take into custody is deceased.
This is the third time a law enforcement officer was shot in the line of duty in Metro Atlanta in a little more than a week.
It's pretty crazy.
Amy Albrecht couldn't believe it when she heard about the deadly standoff so close to her home in Stockbridge.
It seems like the world's getting crazier by the minute.
It disturbs everybody around here, I'm sure, so it's really out of character.
Brian Cook tells Fox 5 he's a handyman who's worked at the home police raided.
I maintained that property off and on. I could have been there, at any moment.
The officer is expected to make a full recovery. No other officers were hurt. APD Chief Darren Shearbaum will not confirm if officers shot and killed Rankins or if he killed himself. the GBI is investigating. We're live in Stockbridge. Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
Well, so glad to hear the officer is going to be okay. Christopher, thanks. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens issued a statement in response to the bloodshed saying domestic violence is a national crisis.
Well, Andre Dickens is speaking up about it. I mean, I hope that's good, or, you know, that is kind of good news, I guess. Before, he was more active. He was stepping in the streets and confronting these situations head on. And I think he saw the gravity of it and kind of stepped back and said, hey, man, I can't really do much with these ninjas. They crashing out. But, you know, it's nice to see him put out a statement. I wish that he'd do more. But, you know, he is a Democrat, so he has to toe the line. And I just don't think that he is going to really take on the crime in Atlanta seriously.
And we must all band together and say no more. Thank you to all our public safety officials who run toward danger each and every day. And thank you to the professionals at Grady Hospital who gave world-class care.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Breaking news. An Atlanta police officer is in the hospital after being shot while serving a murder warrant in Henry County. And Jonathan, we know that this is some news that is coming into the newsroom right now. Limited details, but we do know that we have a couple of crews that are on scene as we work to gather some more information about this.
That's right. We are having team coverage for you this afternoon. We have our Molly Oak, who is in Henry County. We also have Joe Ripley, who is live at Grady Hospital with the latest on how the officer is doing. We're going to get to those live reports in just a moment.
And we're hearing that Molly Oak is ready to go. So Molly, if you can hear us, what is the latest on this incident? We know that this is breaking news right now. What are we hearing?
Hey guys, you know, we've been on the scene for a couple of hours now, and while the law enforcement presence has really dwindled since we've been out there, you can still see that scene behind me, that house that they've been focused on just down the road, surrounded by caution tape. I want you to take a look at your screen to give you a better look at just what we've been seeing in this area. Again, that home off Linden Lane in the Swan Lake subdivision in Henry County. A rep with the U.S. Marshals Southeast Regional Fugitive Task Force says they were serving a murder warrant out of Atlanta when an Atlanta police officer who was working with their team was shot and hospitalized. Now, we know multiple agencies responded to this shooting. From our vantage point, we saw GBI, Henry County Police, Henry County Sheriff, Clayton County Sheriff, Fulton County Sheriff, and Georgia State Patrol.
Woo! They had the whole battalion out there, you know, to deal with this super gremlin on demon time. And yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it's going to take. It's exactly what it's going to take, but unfortunately, this is a little too late. I don't know what needs to be done to prevent these specific types of situations, because it just seems like everything happened so fast and it was over before it even started. But guys, go look up the video and watch it. You will be completely appalled by what you see in that video and just how emotional these brothers are moving and their willingness to crash out. It's scary.
All on scene.
And then more and more cars kept coming, and I finally found where everything was, and then I got stuck, and come to find out, my wife was looking it up online, trying to find out what was going on. Next thing we found out, it was serving a murder warrant, and the marshal got shot, and luckily he's gonna come to find out he's gonna be okay, but.
And as you just heard James say, that officer is expected to be okay. The U.S. Marshals confirming that for us earlier today. We'll keep you updated as we continue to learn more. Reporting live in Henry County, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
Also developing tonight, a violent end to the search for a gunman who killed an Atlanta mother. And today, an Atlanta police officer was shot while serving a warrant for that murder suspect in.
And he definitely went out in a blaze of glory, I'll tell you that. Self-deletion by cop. This is something that we speak about on the community or on this channel far too often. And this is what is being produced from the community right now, and it's sad.
Henry County.
That's right. So what we do know is that the officer is expected to survive. That suspect is dead. And through it all, Courtney Reese's family, they are mourning her loss. Reese was just 32 years old. She had 3 daughters and an 11-year-old son. 1 week ago, she was shot and killed on Springside Drive, that's south of Cleveland Avenue. And the investigation into her murder, it led the Southeastern Fugitive Task Force to a home in Stockbridge today. Atlanta police say when they arrived, the suspect here, Derrick Rankins, started shooting. An officer was hit in the arm. Rankins died during this standoff. But police have not yet said if he took his own life or if he was killed. And today, Courtney's father is speaking out, saying that while he doesn't wish harm on anyone, he's glad that Rankins won't be a danger to anyone else. We do know that a homegoing service for Courtney is set for this Thursday in Decatur.
Get back to breaking news we've been following involving an Atlanta police officer shot today.
So we heard from Molly Oak. Now we want to head out to 11 Alive's Joe Ripley, who is live at Grady Hospital. Joe, any update on this officer's condition?
Well, as you mentioned, this Atlanta police officer was shot while helping to execute a search warrant in Stockbridge. That's Henry County. Right now, though, he remains in Grady Hospital behind me recovering. We're told by Atlanta's police chief, Darren Shearbaum, that officer is expected to be okay. He is expected to recover. Henry County Sheriff's Office helicopter actually flew this 18-year APD veteran and investigator right here to Grady. This is all tied to a search warrant in Henry County. A regional task force led by U.S. Marshals executed this search warrant this morning in Stockbridge for Derrick Rankins. He is accused of shooting and killing Courtney Reese 1 week ago near Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. Reese was a mother of 4. She was just 32 years old, shot at least 10 times, according to police. She had lost a sister just months ago. Police say they identified Rankins as a suspect, and tonight, Chief Shearbaum says Rankins is dead after an hours-long standoff.
This is what we train for. We recruit men and women who have a quality to stand in the gap for their communities. We train weekly and regularly to make sure when an individual who poses harm to community doesn't want to go back to jail, that we can do so with the least risk to the citizens in the area.
Shearbaum says tonight no other officers were injured while this search warrant was being executed in Stockbridge, though it's still unclear tonight if Rankins shot himself or if police shot and killed him. That remains under investigation by the GBI. We're live outside Grady Hospital in Atlanta. Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear.
Happening today, a family is holding a viewing for a mother of 4 who was shot and killed last week. 32-year-old Courtney Reese died last Tuesday near Cleveland Avenue. Her viewing is set for this afternoon in Forest Park. Courtney died just months after her sister was killed in DeKalb County. Police identified a suspect in Courtney's death while serving murder warrants just yesterday in Henry County. That man was killed and Atlanta police officer was injured there.
Wow.
11 Alive's Bobeth Yates joining us outside Grady Hospital this morning. Bobeth, we know this is all connected here. They were looking for the guy who was accused of killing her, and now an officer is there injured this morning.
And shout out to that officer for taking the bullet from this this crash out artist. Oh man, I mean, what are we doing, community? We have to get a hold on this. We have to fix it. We have to change our public image because this crash out energy is not it.
That's exactly right, Aisha. And at last check, that officer was here at Grady recovering from his injuries. He is expected to survive. Now, this all began as officers were trying to arrest the man they believe killed Courtney Reese. Now, according to APD, a joint fugitive task force was attempting to serve murder warrants for Derrick Rankins, the person they believe is responsible for Courtney's murder. The mom of 4 was shot and killed last Tuesday near Cleveland Avenue. Officials say when they arrived at the Stockbridge home, Rankins opened fire during the shootout. An APD officer was hit in the arm and Rankins was killed. In a statement, Courtney's dad responded to the news of the suspect's death, saying, honestly, this is the best outcome because this guy was a danger to others. Well, while he was on the run, I wish death upon no one, but he deserves exactly what he got.
True. And you know, I'm glad that the father is keeping an energy that supports and upholds the closest form of justice that we could get with this guy being 6 feet under. You know, obviously I would have much rather desired him to go through the court process and spend the rest of his life in prison while doing unpaid slave labor. But, you know, we'll take this outcome. It's less cost on the taxpayer. But, you know, unfortunately, it had to get to the point where he killed a black woman to see the justice served on what presumably his life, you know, of crime.
Now, we also heard from Atlanta Police Chief and neighbors who reacted to the scary moments. Take a listen.
Well, we were sitting there at the house, and next thing you know, you see cars flying by and cop after cop after cop after cop. It's kind of crazy.
This is what we train for. We recruit men and women who have a quality to stand in the gap for their communities. We train weekly and regularly to make sure when an individual who poses harm to community doesn't want to go back to jail, that we can do so with the least risk to the citizens in the area.
Again, police have not said if Rankins killed himself or if he was shot, and that officer injured is here at Grady recovering. Also, as mentioned earlier, the family of Reese will hold a viewing for her in Forest Park later today. Her funeral is tomorrow. Live in downtown, at Bobeth Yates, 11 Alive News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.